His MVP. That's one. Right field. Forget about it. Rangers strike first. Goes after the first one. Drills a high fly ball. Left center field. This game is tied. From Javier. Seager hits a high fly ball. Deep right field. A bomb in the first. One swing. Drive. It's tied. Seager smashes the ball down the line. Goodbye. Now Seager to right center field. Way back there. Gone again. Corey Seager does it again. It's the Texas Rangers win the World Series. The Willie Mays Most Valuable Player Trophy presented by Chevrolet. Is there any doubt? Corey Seager.
Hi, and welcome to another edition of Right on Rangers Live, coming at you in the bottom of the 8th inning. 3-0 bad guys. Angels taking advantage of Jacob deGrom once again. I'm a little bit confounded, not going to lie to y'all. Really thought Jacob deGrom was going to be very, very solid at home against the Angels. Maybe the first couple of times, a little bit of fluky West Coast stuff. You know, I thought he would come back strong tonight, back in the friendly confines of Globe Life, and that was not the case. Look, deGrom didn't pitch terrible. I don't think you blame deGrom for this game. I mean, look, dude pitched well enough, I think, to keep the team in the game and get a win. This offense, man, as we've said almost all year long, this offense got to keep it front and center. 5 innings, 2 earned runs for deGrom, 2 walks, 3 hits. Gave up the 1 home run to Zach Neto to lead off the game. Look, it's not a great outing from deGrom, but it's not a bad one. You'd love for him to go deeper in the ballgame. Curvelo got into a little bit of trouble as well. Robert Garcia came in and pitched a shutout. And yeah, Jacob Webb coming in, did the same thing, threw up a scoreless inning. And now former Ranger Brock Burke in the ballgame. Michael Hellman on to pinch hit. He's going to take ball 1 here. By the way, feel free to drop a comment, drop a question along the way. Definitely will be a little bit more in tune with those after the game is over. Be a little hit or miss most likely while we're doing the live play-by-play color commentary. But please feel free. Give me a 2 cents. Let me know what you think of tonight. I don't think a lot of us are too pleased with the effort. That much is obvious. But give me a little bit of a deeper insight here. What are you thinking? Look, Josh Young, last inning with the 2-out, 5-run homer swing. Or 2-strike, 5-run homer swing. Just don't get that sometimes. And I know that we've talked about Josh Young a lot on the show. I just don't get some of these approaches, man. You're trying to hit an 8-run home run with 2 strikes when all you really need to do is shorten it up a little bit and put the ball in play. It's just really ridiculous, the lack of awareness that some of the Rangers hitters have in certain counts. I really don't have a great explanation for it. I know that the Rangers are definitely trying to work with some of these guys on having better approaches, Josh Young included in that mix. But it's kind of the epitome of what's wrong with the team and what you need less of next year. You need less of guys that have little to no 2-strike approach. We have a number of those guys on the team right now, and unfortunately, rearing its ugly head tonight, Michael Hellman is going to strike out swinging 98 miles an hour over the heart of the plate, man. Just could not catch up, and Hellman is going to walk back to the bench. Josh Smith up 1 for 2 with the walk on the evening. Look, we dropped the Josh Smith reel earlier today. Was hoping it would have a little more poignant effect this evening. It has not been the case thus far, but look, on base twice, not bad for Josh Smith. Lefty-lefty matchup. This is a tough one for him. He has not hit lefties well at all this year. We're talking about a guy with a sub 550 OPS against lefties. It has not been great. Josh Smith going to take ball 1, 1-2 count. Smith had a little blooper, a little Texas leaguer. That made it into right field, 71 miles an hour off the bat. Did take a walk, which is a good sign for him. really a guy up at the top of the lineup, if you're going to continue to hit him there, has to be able to take more walks. And we're going to 2-2 on Josh Smith right now. Give me one on, man. Give me one on here. You got Wyatt Langford, and then you got potentially Corey Seager coming up next. Little 2-out rally. Love to see Smith get on, and then Wyatt Langford follow it up. Be huge. Yeah, look, Jerry, it's kind of my point. You've got a lot of guys, as I like to say, trying to hit the 7-run bomb. Like, dude, you got 2 strikes. You're down 3. Just keep it moving. Keep it moving. And not everybody needs to be the hero every single inning. Just sometimes keep the train moving, man. There's Josh Smith with a patented loss of the helmet. And he is going to foul off a couple here. He's having a quality at bat right now against Brock Burke, former Texas Ranger. Burke on the year, by the way, not terrible numbers. You look at the ERA, it's sitting at 2.72 right now, not too shabby. Why couldn't he do that when he was with us? Where was that 2.72 ERA with us, man? Josh Smith is going to get plunked here, man. I don't know what that was all about. He kind of looked out there at Brock Burke pretty quick. Josh Smith does not like that, man. He looks like he got hit up on the hands. Man, we've already dealt with this enough. Man, correct me if I'm wrong. Didn't the Angels hit us a bunch in Anaheim last series? Correct me if I'm wrong on that. Didn't we get hit a bunch by the Angels last series? Man, he looked out at Brock Burke right away. Maybe just a former teammate, just giving him a hard time there. Looks like he got hit kind of more on the elbow or triceps area. Look, Josh Smith on base for the 3rd time tonight. Good on him. JJ, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Appreciate you. Ball 1 to Wyatt, a changeup up high. GD Cowboy, don't get it either. They look so good at times. They look so good. They get your hopes up so high. And look, there's still 4 outs to work with in this ball game. We've seen the Rangers come back and win some wild ones. You never know. Could be the night tonight too, but it's getting down to the nitty-gritty here. We got to get Wyatt Langford on base. Got to get Corey Seager up to bat some way, somehow here. Don't want to leave that man in the on-deck circle. One of my biggest pet peeves, y'all know this too well, leave Corey Seager in the on-deck circle. Make him lead off the next inning. One of the worst things you can do from an offensive strategy standpoint. You get to 500 and make a 4.27 ERA pitcher look like a Cy Young winner. Antonio, well said. Well said. Yeah, John, I think I did actually see this, man. Thanks for tuning in. As always, my guy, great to see you. But just the 2-strike approaches, man, from some of the guys that really need to have 2-strike approaches. Like Corey Seager, I mean, look, let that guy just let it rip every time. He's one of the best hitters in the game. I know some people are wishing that Corey was a little bit more locked in, maybe looking a little bit more like his 2023 self. It hasn't quite come around, but the numbers are actually still really, really good for Corey. It's hard for me to get on him too much. I'm a little bit biased. Corey Seager, one of my favorite players, but Corey's actually not in a bad stretch right now. He's just not coming through with the big-time homers like we're used to at this moment. Wyatt, by the way, whiffing at an 89-mile-an-hour changeup. Yeah, Burke went ahead and dropped the bottom out of that one, man. Great changeup by Burke there. That's filthy. Wyatt way out in front. Way out in front. Let's see. Mariners missed the postseason last year because they couldn't beat the Angels. Now it's happening to us. Yeah, we got to figure out a way to beat these Angels, man. Wyatt Langford just gave one a ride, but just fouled. Brock Burke was getting a little nervous. He got those happy feet, man. Brock Burke, I think, thought he had given up a bomb. Alas, just a foul ball. Long foul ball there. Man, Wyatt is hitting the ball well. He is hitting the ball well right now. But, unfortunately, going to strike out here and do the one thing that I absolutely hate when the Rangers do. Leave Corey Seager in the on-deck circle. It's tough, man. You know, you look at that at bat from Wyatt. And I was going back and forth with a couple of people about this on X tonight. But you look at that at bat, and Wyatt gets 3 strikes, got obviously 3 balls outside, but pitch number 6 is a changeup right down the middle. He just misses it. And then you get pitch number 5, a changeup right down the middle. He waves through it. So back-to-back changeups, and then after that, Brock Burke goes changeup on the outside corner. Probably would have been a ball if Wyatt doesn't swing. Probably looking at ball 4 there. Wyatt Langford has supremely benefited from hitting in front of Corey Seager. I don't understand anyone that is suggesting he hit anywhere else at this point. I think Wyatt Langford's best version of himself has been unlocked, hitting directly in front of the Rangers' best hitter, Corey Seager. I know that on paper or in theory, maybe it makes more sense to have Wyatt in your 3 spot, your 4 spot. I think people are forgetting to connect the dots here. Wyatt Langford and his rise, his trajectory, is directly associated to the Rangers hitting him before Corey Seager. That's when you noticed Wyatt start turning a corner. And why is that? Because teams don't want to face Corey Seager in these moments. That's why Wyatt Langford got 2 meatball changeups right over the heart of the plate on pitch number 5 and 6 in that at bat. I mean, those were meatball changeups. The 5th pitch, the one that he missed at right before the almost home run, that was a little filthy. It wasn't quite at the bottom of the zone. It was probably still up a little bit. Wyatt just didn't have it timed up. But that pitch right over the heart of the plate that Wyatt misses, that's your pitch right there. It's hard. You're only going to get 1 or 2 pitches in an at-bat. And when you've got Corey Seager in the on-deck circle, they are going to try to throw you strikes. Now, ironically, the pitch that Wyatt swings at to strike out ain't a strike. And in that case, you would have had Corey Seager up with 2 runners on and a chance to tie the ball game with 1 swing of the bat. Rangers have struck out way too many times tonight, man. You're up to, looks like 10 Ks on the evening. Just not good. And Logan O'Hoppe is going to take Jacob Webb deep. And it is 4-0 Angels, man. Add insult to injury. Just rub some salt in the wound. O'Hoppe hits one to left center into the bullpen. Jacob Webb obviously coming back from injury. ERA does not look too great, but just can't say Jacob Webb is a guy that you really, really trust in big spots. And look, this isn't a big moment. It's 3-0. It feels appropriate that Jacob Webb's in the ball game, but you'd have loved to kept it at a 3-run game. You never know what can happen. A 3-4-run 9th inning is not super likely, but you'd like to see the chance. Rangers now in a 4-run deficit. Cavadas up to bat, 0 for 3. Jacob Webb, pitch number 22 incoming here. Webb again, ERA, and now up to 3.86. And Cavadas is going to go down and get one here. Going to hit a little fly ball to right field that's going to find its way down. A little duck fart into right field. Doley picks it up, and the Angels are in business here. Nobody out yet. Jacob Webb having a tough time here. Asked to go multiple innings. That's tough. You know, it's tough. You get asked to go multiple innings. You get a nice 8th inning shutdown, and now you're in the 9th inning getting asked to go 2, and it's not going great for you. Rangers obviously trying to save some arms. You got the off day on Thursday, so look, I think that this is still probably the right move. You went Robert Garcia, you went Curvelo, you went Webb. You're clearly not burning any of the big guns. You still got 2 games left in this series, but just a disappointing opener after such a good weekend against the Guardians. Such a good weekend. Hey, what's good, man? Thanks for tuning in. Appreciate you. Good to see you. Let's see. The lineups I got to agree with a little bit here. The no Zeke, no Cody Freeman, really a little bit of a head scratcher to me. No Cody Freeman, and especially no Zeke Duran. Zeke Duran has been swinging a hot bat, probably one of the hottest bats on the team. It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, I will say this. The guys that Zeke could have played for actually didn't play too poorly, unless you were thinking about benching Josh Young tonight. And Josh has 1 hit on the evening. But look, Josh Smith was 1 for 2 with a walk and a hit by pitch. He was on base 3 times. That might have been a guy that Zeke Duran would have played for. Again, maybe you think about Osuna if you want Zeke Duran out in left field. That one to me, even though I love Osuna, big Osuna fan, that probably would have been the guy that you potentially put on the bench. You have Zeke play left field tonight, or you have Cody Freeman play left field tonight. I cannot say Osuna has looked great over the past couple of weeks since the recall. I think left field probably would have been the spot that you got a little bit picky with tonight. Josh Smith, I probably would have benched as well. But look, he had a decent game tonight. The hit was nothing crazy, 71-mile-an-hour blooper into right field. But the walk, and you know what? The hit by pitch at bat was still quality. That was 7+ pitches. But at this point, Osuna, left field, a bit of a head scratcher. I know it's the righty-lefty matchup, which I get, but is Cody Freeman and Ezekiel Duran, are they really that poor at hitting right-handed pitching? It doesn't make a lot of sense to me. Zach Neto's going to strike out, and that's nice to see. Neto has just been a nuisance to the Rangers all season long. All season long, man. Jack, am I sure I don't want the Rockies in our division? Yes, I'm still sure, but, man, it would be nice to beat up on them for 12, 13 games. Yeah, right now, Dan, that's what it's looking like. Soldier, I'm assuming, the question is, why is Webb still pitching? I'm assuming they're just trying to save arms. I mean, look, you've got a Thursday off day, and then after that, you've got a road series coming up with the A's. I mean, you probably could have gone somebody else, in all honesty, but I think Boch is just trying to save the bullpen a little bit here. Yeah, Ethan, you might have a really good point there, man. I don't think Kimbrel was outstanding in AAA. Occasionally, I would look through the numbers. He definitely did not have an outstanding run with Round Rock. It was very up and down. Hey, Jamie, appreciate the gift, by the way, man. Thank you so much. It was very, very up and down. And I think that Kimbrel might still have a little bit left in the tank, but I don't know how much you're really upgrading Kimbrel over Webb, but I think you probably are upgrading a little bit. Look, Antonio, you might have been right. The comment was, you got to accept deGrom. Just look, the Angels have his number. The Angels have his number, so you try and go out and win the next two. It's weird to say that out loud. The Angels have Jacob deGrom's number. Pat, my man, it's definitely a true statement here. It's not hard to be a hot bat on this team right now. It really isn't. It really isn't. I don't think that Jacob Webb is going to be involved in a whole lot of high leverage moments. I mean, look, a 3-0 ball game. I don't really want to see a poor reliever come into the game, but I mean, you could have gone a number of different directions, I guess. You don't want to use a guy like Armstrong or Milner, Maton, Coulomb. You don't want to use anybody like that. I just think at this point, it was probably the right move. You just hope that Jacob Webb could have gone out and had a better ninth inning. If they lose this series, that would be the nail in the coffin. Possibly. You kind of have to see what the results are ahead of the Rangers. So I'm going to hold off on anything too lofty tonight in terms of, this is dooming the season, et cetera, et cetera. But I will say this, it's not a great start. I think we said it well. Could you win 2 out of 3 and maybe sweep one? And so, look, 2 out of 3 is still ahead of them. You love to win the first game of a series, always. But let's not totally melt down over a game like this tonight. Rangers were just not going to go undefeated down the stretch. We would have loved to have seen it happen, but I think that we have to take a breath and collectively wait till tomorrow, see how things unfold here before we melt down about this loss. It's one game. Rangers were not going to go 30-0. Let's take it a day at a time. This was not a good day. Corey Seager going to get under this one slightly, and it is going to be out number 1. Rangers down to their final 2 here. Let's keep rolling. Cripple King, you bring up a good point. We were talking about the Rockies and potential realignment. A couple of writers have the Rockies realigning in a division with the Rangers and the Astros, maybe 10 years down the road whenever they decide to do that. You never know. You think that teams are going to be bad, and you're like, yes. Like the Astros were not good when they came to the AL West, but, it can turn. It can turn. It's a fair point, Cripple King. Appreciate you hanging out, man. Good to see you. Right now, Cody Freeman up 0 for 1. He popped out in foul territory earlier. Strike one. Maybe a little bit of a generous call. Ball number 2. The ump's going to give it right back here. Looked like he got both of those in a row wrong. Looked like pitch number 1 was probably a ball. Looked like pitch number 2 was probably a strike, but he gets it flip-flop. Cody Freeman, by the way, fresh off of a 2 for 4 performance on Saturday. First major league home run. And coming into the game was 3 for his last 8, now 3 for his last 9. Let's see if he can continue to keep a good thing going here. Some good momentum maybe into tomorrow's game. You'd like to think that Boch is going to get Freeman, Duran into the ball game. I don't understand sitting Duran. Cody Freeman, you could maybe reason sitting. I just really don't understand why you're benching Duran. And look, these are words I never thought that I would say this year, considering how bad Zeke Duran was to start off the year. But honestly, at this point, you have to play whoever has the hot bat. And I know what Pat said. It's true. It doesn't take much to be a hot bat in this lineup. But you can't be benching the players that are actually hitting. Zeke Duran, over his last 15 games, one of the best hitters on the team. One of the best hitters on the team by far. Here's the pitch from Jansen. And Freeman's going to pop this one up. Got a pretty decent pitch to hit. Neto under it. He gloves it. And the Rangers are down to their final out. We keep going here. Let me try and catch up with comments here. It is loyalty. I just don't understand. And JN, I hear you. Bochy won't start Duran versus a righty. You just don't have time for loyalty right now, man. You don't have time for anybody to be all up in their feelings because they're getting benched. Like, you don't have time for that. You got to win ball games, man. You have got to win ball games. I just don't understand it. You've got to start getting creative. This offense needs to have the hottest hitters in the lineup at all times. Benching Zeke Duran just feels like the total wrong decision here. I know that you're always trying to play matchups. In a Bruce Bochy staff, you're always trying to play the matchups. I'm not saying it's a good thing, by the way. I'm just saying that is what Bochy likes to do. It's loyalty and matchups, man. Loyalty and matchups. Duran is crushing lefties. I do get that. But I think at this point, you give him a shot versus righties. Doley, by the way, in a 0-2 count right now. Here's the pitch from Jansen. Skied. And looks like Neto is going to record the second out in a row here and end the ball game. Gloves it once more, and the Rangers are going to lose this one 4-0. Jacob deGrom takes the L. The Rangers' 3-game winning streak is snapped. And unfortunately, the Rangers now in an 0-1 hole in a 3-game series. Got to win the next 2. Feels like it. Got to win the next 2 at this point. I'm with you. Disgusting game tonight. Eagle, I'm with you on the Jansen windup. Look, these windups to me are wild. The guys that are like rocking around on the mound, lifting up the front foot 3 or 4 times, and it's like all before they come set. I'm with you on that one. Game under 500. Pat says got to win the next 10. Oh, jeez. I don't think that's happening, brother, but you know what? If we could win something like 7 or 8 out of 10, I'd take that. Apparently, Dan, this is how it works. We can win with Evo, but not with deGrom. Yeah, John, not good tonight. The offense was just putrid tonight. Terrible. Terrible offense tonight. You look at some of the stats. You had, let's see, 1, 2. You had 3. You had 4. You had about 4 or 5 offers tonight, depending on if you count some of the guys that came off the bench and got multiple at-bats. If you do, you had a little bit more than that. Corey Seager, 0 for 4 with 2 Ks. Look, he normally torches the Angels. You had also Rowdy Tellez, 0 for 2. Heim, 0 for 3. Osuna, 0 for 2. I mean, those are the bottom of the order guys. You'd love for them to get on base, but you're not necessarily counting on it. Jock Peterson was 1 for 2 tonight. Eventually, Cody Freeman came on for him. And Adolis Garcia, 1 for 4. Not a lot to really speak of in the box score. Yeah, obviously had a couple of double plays tonight too. Heim and Seager after kind of promising starts to innings. Yeah, 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. 5 left on base. deGrom, we talked about his line, 5 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 earned runs, 2 walks. Really not a terrible outing for Jacob deGrom. Not terrible. Not great, but not terrible. Probably good enough to win a ball game. 5 innings, 2 earned runs. I mean, maybe by deGrom standards, not up to the task, not up to what we expect. But look, the Rangers could have won this ball game with how Jacob deGrom pitched tonight if they would have even managed 2 runs, 3 runs. We talked about Curvelo. We talked about Webb. Unfortunate that they give up runs in their relief appearances. But when you're in a deficit, this is what happens. You have to go to arms that are not necessarily your best. And that's kind of what position the Rangers got put in tonight, getting into the deficit, not having any offense. So, look, Jacob Webb obviously is going to get a little bit of crap, I'm sure, from Rangers fans tonight, but asked to go multiple innings. He did pitch a very clean 8th inning, and he wasn't able to carry it into the 9th. Rangers, tomorrow, Patrick Corbin. We're going to preview that in a little bit, but first we're going to take all your comments and questions. Here at Right on Rangers, we cover everything Texas sports, but we put a big emphasis on the Rangers during the MLB season, and we thank you for choosing Right on Rangers for all of your Texas Rangers content. Look, hit that like button if you're on YouTube, if you're on X. Double tap that screen a few times if you're on TikTok right now. Like the live. Let's continue to push it out to other people, help people get to know the channel a little bit. Those likes might not seem like a big deal, but they all add up. So thanks for every once in a while double tapping that screen a couple of times, liking the live. Helps get it out to more Rangers fans, more good people wanting to talk baseball. Wish we could be doing it under better circumstances. This was not a good outing tonight, not a great game tonight to watch. Felt very reminiscent of many a Texas Rangers game this season. You got maybe, do we want to throw out, you got a little fool's gold over the weekend? I don't want to say it, but it feels like it emotionally after a game like tonight. It feels like it. It feels like we got the wool pulled over the eyes a little bit over the weekend. And this is really who the Rangers are and always will be. I know we got to flush this one out, and I'll be able to think a little bit more clearly about it, but it's just such a typical game from this team this year. You have this super high-flying weekend, right? You're on cloud 9. You're feeling super hopeful, and then you just come out and lay a complete turd. There's no other way to put it. You completely soil the bed when everything points to you seizing momentum, maybe going on a 6-game win streak, maybe even a 9-game win streak. We were talking about it in the Discord. Like, a 9-game win streak didn't seem impossible. You had all this momentum from the Cleveland series. I know maybe it was foolish in hindsight, but it really didn't seem impossible. Sure enough. Weston, well said. Roller coaster, 100%. Skeeves, good to see you. Imagine how hard it is to host a White Sox show. Man, look, I don't even know if I could do that or make that happen. My brother's doing the White Sox podcast. God bless you. Seriously, God bless you. All right, we keep rolling. 21-8. Good luck, Ethan. I'm with you on that one. I'm with you. Hey, my guy, good to see you. That was tough to watch. Very tough to watch. deGrom has bad luck against the Angels. Green Arrow, hope you enjoyed the game tonight, man. I was thinking about you as your Angels were pounding the Rangers, man. Jeez. deGrom, man, just cannot figure out how to beat this team from LA. Angels 3-0 against deGrom this year. Ultramodern, good to see you, man. Wish it could be under better context, but I appreciate you showing up, man. All y'all. It's not easy. It's not easy talking about these, but y'all make me feel a lot better getting on here after a tough loss, a little group therapy session. I don't understand how this team can look just so disconnected, Pat says from YouTube. So many players from 23 look like a team that's never played for each other with fire. I think a lot of people have been saying that. And I definitely put some stock into that. And you guys have heard me say this, all my longtime listeners, you guys know. I do think there is something to be said about chemistry, about the vibes on the team, the clubhouse, the atmosphere. But at the end of the day, when you step into that box, man, you're mano y mano. And it really doesn't matter what the vibes are in the clubhouse. You're not thinking about that when you're squaring up against a guy throwing 95 plus. You're just not. So I can only take it so far with that angle. I do believe it is a thing, but I can only take it so far. Eric, what's good, man? Thanks for hanging out. Good to see you. No more Rangers-Mariners games this year, but I'm thankful you still come and hang out. Appreciate your support of the show, my guy. Bochy handing out Werther's originals to the losers after the game. Ultra Modern bringing the heat tonight. Jeez, from the top rope. Rangers' whole bullpen is free agents except your boy Robert Garcia and Wynn. I don't know if I would say Robert Garcia is my boy. Cole Wynn, I'll claim Cole Wynn. I don't think I'm claiming Robert Garcia, man. I don't think I'm claiming it. TLC 100%. JJ, look, it definitely feels that way after tonight. I am trying so hard. It is so hard after some of these games, and I know y'all want to see it. It is so hard after some of these games to not go scorched earth on this team. I know that they have winning baseball within them, but there are some games like tonight, you just want to burn it to the ground after a game like this. I just really don't understand a team that has just been able to seize momentum so little this year. So little. Again, big wins, it don't matter. They show up flat as all get out the next day like it's nothing. It doesn't make sense to me. You win 3 in a row at home. It should be vibes are up. We're feeling good. Let's put the foot on the throat and keep it rolling. We're at home. We're playing the Angels. I know that can't will you to a win, but it just doesn't make sense how little this team has been able to take advantage of momentum this year. Did the Angels dominate pitching, or did the Rangers just come down to normal? Look, Soriano is a good pitcher. I know that in the game, we were kind of throwing out, this guy's got a 4+ ERA. I think he's actually a pretty good pitcher. Haven't watched him throw now. I think he's thrown against the Rangers 4 times. I think this was Soriano's 4th start. Look, Green Arrow, if you're still hanging out, you tell me what you think. I like how Soriano pitches. I think he's a pretty good pitcher. He's actually had 2 pretty decent starts against Texas, now 3. One of the starts he gave up, I think, 10 hits, but only managed to give up like 2 earned runs. Like there's one start where the Rangers roughed up Soriano a little bit. I really like the way he throws the ball. And I know that maybe against the Rangers, it's not necessarily saying a whole lot. The Rangers offense has been pretty bad all season long, but I don't think Soriano's a scrub. I actually think he's probably going to be a pretty decent big league pitcher. Still a young guy too. Keep on coming. Yeah, love Wash. Absolutely. Praying for a speedy recovery. Green Arrow, 100% on that one. Glad to see Wash, man. Him back in Arlington just feels right. It really does. Look, Green Arrow, y'all definitely appreciate Wash. It still feels weird to see Wash in an Angels uniform. It just does. There were so many big rivalry games between the Angels and the Rangers in the early 2010s. Like, that was such a huge rivalry. And it just feels odd seeing Ron Washington on the other side of the chalk, but it is what it is. We keep going. TLC with you on this one. Game was just so dang boring. It did just fly by at times, and every time the Rangers got somebody on, felt like a double play was coming immediately afterwards. JBJ, good on you. Good on you missing 95% of this one. Ethan, I wonder if they're actually going to do this. This is a good point. I wonder if the Rangers do consider calling up Kumar Rocker, maybe moving Pat Corbin to the bullpen. I think they probably are going to stick with Corbin tomorrow. I haven't seen anything to suggest otherwise. Now, things can change quickly. Things can absolutely change quickly, but I haven't seen a whole lot to suggest otherwise. By the way, go Padres tonight. They are playing the Mariners. Sorry, Eric, if you're still hanging out. Padres and Mariners are tied 4-4 in the 5th inning right now. Orioles lose to the Red Sox. Red Sox continue to widen that gap up at the top of the wild card race. Rays win, so they creep a game closer to the Rangers. You had the Yankees beating the Nationals. Blue Jays won as well. All those teams in the AL East. Let's see, Royals lost. That's helpful. And then, of course, the Angels at 62-69 right now. 3 games back of Texas. 3 games back. You could obviously see them crawl a couple games closer if they are to win a couple more. Hopefully that's not the case, but really the teams you got to worry about front and center right now: Royals, Guardians, Rays. Guardians, man, are in a little bit of a spin. They have lost a lot of their last recent ball games, and the Rays beat them tonight 9-0. Guardians only had 2 hits. So, I mean, I don't know how to take this totally with the standings. Let's just look at it and see what we're doing. I think they should be updated by now. Rangers drop a game below 500. We are now 5 games back, and I think the Mariners game will determine. If the Mariners lose, we would go back to 4.5. If the Mariners win, we drop to 5.5, which is really 6.5. So Padres win would be huge for Texas tonight. Absolutely huge. Padres win is almost a must. A Padres sweep against Seattle would be even bigger. Even bigger. Josh Smith and prospects for Adley Rutschman this offseason? Who says no? That was a comment from YouTube, by the way. Look, Adley would be a guy I'd love to have. I do wonder if the Orioles get cold feet and pull him back. I know there's a lot of talk right now in the media about his availability and about him being on the trade block. I really don't know if that is going to be the case or not. TLC, I'm with you. It does. It's what hurts the most about some of these ball games. It's like you could be winning these. There's no reason you can't be beating the Angels at this point in the year. And there's been so many other wins that have been totally blown at the end of ball games. Rangers could be sitting in a much different position this year. Look, I have my dreams about the offseason, and I would love for the Rangers to go out and get a closer. I think that would have helped solve a number of issues down the stretch after the All-Star break. I'm not sure the Rangers go out and get a closer again this offseason. I have a feeling they ragtag it once again, and they throw in some unknown or some vet that's probably mid-30s. I don't think they're going to go out and get a closer again this offseason. That, to me, is definitely something I look back on this year. If we would have had a bona fide closer, let's say we had Kirby Yates or the equivalent of Kirby Yates last year, I think this is probably a much different team in terms of playoff position right now. Angels went 6-0 versus the Dodgers this year, man. There's an argument, I suppose. Green Arrow, you and I have talked about this. The Angels have some really nice players. I think they do. I mean, look, the farm system is not awesome, but on the major league level, they have some good players. The pitching, to me, is still kind of the big question mark. They've got a couple of up-and-coming guys that I like, but they just don't have enough pitching for me at this point to do anything really worthwhile. And inconsistency hurts. I mean, look, you're talking about the Rangers, the epitome of inconsistency this season. So I'm not sitting here from a place of judgment. Look, the Rangers have been among the most inconsistent teams in all of baseball this year. So Green Arrow, don't take that the wrong way. If the Angels could get a couple of aces, if they could get one of these guys, one of these young guys that they have up on the major league roster to turn into something, I could see them being a little bit more competitive. But yeah, look, good pitching is definitely something that has eluded the Angels in recent years, 100%. The batting, they shell out the money for those hitters, man. But, Pat, I'm with you. I do think the new ownership is needed for the Los Angeles Angels, 100%. All right, we keep rolling. Justin, appreciate you hanging out, man. Thanks so much. Yeah, look, don't get me wrong. I think the Angels need a lot of work. Rangers need a lot of work, though. They've got some promising players. The Rangers do, too. But I think both teams need a lot of work at this point. I mean, the Rangers and the Angels aren't that far apart in the standings. As much as we want to think as Rangers fans that we are so much better than the Angels, we're only about 3 games better than them right now, man. I just can't champion that right now. The fan in me, my heart, the passion, I want to say that out loud, but based on what I've seen against the Angels, the Rangers don't appear to be that much better. They've got better pitching, obviously. I don't know if they've got a better offense. I think the Angels might have the better offense, in all honesty, and that hurts to say out loud. I think the Angels might have us beat in that department. I don't know. It definitely feels like if you're not going to give the edge to the Angels offensively, it's pretty dang close. We keep rolling. Appreciate all you guys. So we went through the box score. It's pretty ugly. I think I was trying to be as nice as I possibly could be. It's pretty ugly. I think that at this point, though, we need to start flushing this one out and heading into tomorrow's game. I definitely want to take comments and I want to take questions continuing as we go through the preview. Feel free to drop it. Thank you so much for the support. It means a ton. On TikTok, we are getting ever closer to 10,000. I think we are in the mid 9,700s right now, so roughly 250 or so away. So thank you so much, everybody on TikTok that's hanging out watching. Appreciate the support. Getting there on YouTube too. We passed 2K, heading to 2,500. That's kind of the next big milestone. Appreciate all you guys. It's been fun watching this channel grow. You guys are a huge part of that. Bochy post game, it wasn't bussing. Yeah, it wasn't bussing tonight. I still can't believe they got Boch to say that. I really can't. Oh, yeah, Mike, that is the worst fear here. And I know some of y'all are already thinking it's going to happen, but for this team, for this pitching to not make the playoffs would just be criminal. And I've said that so many times this year, it very well might end up happening, unfortunately. TLC, it really does. The fact that the Angels are only a few games behind the Rangers. Again, we want to think as Rangers fans that we are in a totally different class. And you know what? The pitching and having Evaldi and deGrom, I think definitely puts us maybe a little bit higher than they are. Corey Seager, we've got some big names, but honestly, there's not that big of a difference between the two clubs this season. Angels are just a few games worse, and they keep beating us. That doesn't help. Doesn't help. If Patrick Corbin gives up 3+ runs tomorrow, send him back to AAA, move him to the bullpen. Well, they can't send him to AAA, Gio. He would have to get outrighted, and then if nobody claims him, he's probably just taking free agency. But look, I think that Ethan made the point earlier. A bullpen stint might not be the worst thing for Pat Corbin if he doesn't come out sharp tomorrow. Shanoel is a good player. I definitely like Shanoel. Neto, look, as annoying as he is to play against, I do think that Neto is a pretty good shortstop. You guys know how I feel about Taylor Ward. Like I said, the Angels have some good young players. They really do. I'm not trying to pump up any other team too much, but I'll give respect where it's needed to be given. They've got some good young players. They really do. Keep rolling. Tyler Mahle. Brendan, let me know if you want to talk about anything specific, but I have my doubts whether Tyler Mahle is going to contribute meaningfully the rest of this season. I think if the Rangers get out of it, I think he'll probably be shut down. There's no real reason to rush him back. I think the Rangers will do right by him and try and get him going to free agency as healthy as possible. But by and large, I think you can say the Tyler Mahle contract, I don't really feel like it was a great deal for the Rangers. You have not gotten many starts out of Tyler Mahle in a Texas Rangers uniform, and you paid a decent amount of money for Tyler. I think that when he was healthy, Tyler was great, and I don't think that he's a terrible pitcher. I just don't think that we got to see him on the field enough for that contract to be worth it. Right now, you look at his career numbers. He has pitched in a grand total of 17 games in 2 seasons for Texas. He started 17 games. That's not good. For the money that you're paying him, that is not good. I mean, Tyler Mahle, he signed a, let's see, $16.5 million is what he's getting paid this year. We paid him $5.5 million, so we basically paid him $22 million over 2 years. I cannot say that that's super worth it to only get 17 games out of him. And it might only be 17 games. It might only be 17. I think the flashes that we saw when he was healthy were outstanding. And maybe we still end up getting him back and he becomes really special down the stretch. But if it stands right now, the way it's going, yeah, I don't really think that Tyler Mahle was worth it. And it sucks because the Rangers put a lot of capital into the Tyler Mahle contract, especially for this 2025 season. You're paying him $16.5 million this year. Bro started 14 games for you. It's tough. It's just tough. Mahle made about $1.3 million per start. My goodness. Hey, what's up, you guys? Y'all have a good one, man. Thanks for hanging out, supporting the show. Appreciate both y'all. Yeah, look, Pat, isn't that crazy? Rangers fans, you might remember we were right in the running for Anthony Rendon. It was a godsend that the Angels outbid us for him because we were right in the mix for Anthony Rendon. We really were. Godsend that the Angels got him before we did, man. Ethan, when you say it like that, man, it just starts getting depressing. It starts getting depressing really, really quick. Yeah, Tyler Mahle, Jock Peterson, those contracts are not looking good right now. Absolutely, JJ. Hey, Brendan, you're welcome, man. Thank you for the kind words. Appreciate you. Yeah, look, it's a worthwhile comment. Presto, by the way, thank you so much for the comment. So I am with this comment on TikTok. Like, I keep hearing we're back, right? After every win, we're back. Then after we lose, it's over. Every other game, right? And you know what? I think there is some truth to. I don't know how good the Rangers really are. I don't think they're the worst team in baseball, but I don't really know how good they are. But the Rangers just one of the teams this year that has been among the absolute worst in seizing momentum. You sweep a series, you come out flat as all get out the very next night. It just makes zero sense. It's a roller coaster season. Albert, it's well said. It's well said. This weekend did feel like a dream, Frankie. I'm with you. Arenado at the time of Rendon would have probably been pretty solid if the Rangers could have pulled off Arenado, and that would have been a cool transition from Beltre to Arenado. But honestly, it all worked out. Arenado, when he got to St. Louis, definitely still had a couple of good years in there. But this year tapered off a little bit. Just not the guy that was elite up at Coors Field. Still a really good player. But I really thought that was going to be a natural transition. Look, either Beltre to Rendon or Beltre to Arenado. That would have been great. That would have been outstanding. Royals to keep losing would be outstanding. I'm glad that they lost today. Look, the Mariners, maybe they can drop one today. That's really what you need. We are definitely doing some scoreboard watching. Right now, the Mariners have a couple runners on with 2 outs. They are up 5-4. Not good. Come on, Padres. Jeez, come on. North Texas, I think 100% getting traded or non-tendered. Jonah Heim, Adolis Garcia, I think those guys are probably money in the bank trade or non-tender. Padres to sweep the Mariners would be extremely ideal. Extremely ideal at this point. Yeah, Seattle did just take the lead. I saw that. Right now, looking at the scoreboard, again, still 5-4. We'll pull up game day on this one, and we'll see if we can give y'all some updates here and there. Right now, Garver up to bat. Garver's going to walk, so bases loaded now. So this one could get interesting pretty quick here. Mariners might go ahead and break this one wide open. Polanco up to bat right now, 2 for 2 on the night. We'll give y'all a couple of updates here and there. Do I think the Semien news affected the clubhouse? Maybe, but I still say Marcus Semien was not producing at an elite level at the time of injury. I find it hard to believe that it just deflated them to the point of this. Definitely sucks watching a leader, a brother that you're going into battle with go down like that, especially a guy like Semien. But, man, Semien was definitely had some intangibles, but it's not like he was tearing the cover off the ball before the injury. He fouled the ball off of his foot and I think ended up breaking it and had like 2 main injuries, and he's most likely out for the season. Only the second time Marcus Semien has gone on the IL in his career. G-Man, what's good? Thanks for hanging out. Rangers lose. Not the best night for a live, but you know what? Rain or shine, we're always here. Always here. Hey, Brendan, thanks for tuning in, man. Again, appreciate all the kind words. Appreciate all the kind words. let's see. We'll keep you updated here on what's going on with scores around the league. This is what we got to do after we lose a game. You got to do some scoreboard watching. Look, let's go ahead and get into the preview for tomorrow. But first, I want to say a special thank you to all of my paid subscribers on TikTok, paid members on YouTube. Really appreciate your support of the show. There's many ways to support the channel. You guys do it through liking the lives, through sharing them with others. And then also, of course, through the comments. You guys help keep the show fresh. And it means a lot. I'm grateful for all the support we get over the summer. Really, at the beginning of the summer, I started a $2.99 per month subscription. It gets you into our exclusive Right on Rangers Discord. Again, $2.99 a month. If you have ever thought about additional ways that you can support me and the content, the channel that I produce, that is definitely one way. Next best thing, go to my most recent video, give it a like, give it a comment, share it with somebody. Like I said, we don't take any support for granted. But if you'd like to become a paid subscriber on TikTok, bottom left corner, hit the subscribe button next to the chat box. If you're on YouTube, you can go ahead and copy and paste this link that I'm going to drop into the chat, into a browser of your choice, and we will get you into the Discord soon after that. Really, pretty much right after the show is over. That's going to be the plan. So, look, thank you so much for considering. And again, thank you for all the ways that you continue to support Right on Rangers. Looks like, by the way, unfortunately, the Mariners just doubled in a couple of runs, so it is now 7-4. Look, Padres have a pretty high-powered offense, so this one is not over. It's not like when the Rangers go down 3 runs. Hate to say that out loud, but true. Sad, but true. So, you know what? I'm not counting the Padres out completely here, but look, getting late, bottom of the 5th inning right now. A loss tonight by the Padres would not be ideal. Rangers would go back 5.5 games in the wild card, which is really 6.5 because of the tiebreaker that the Mariners hold over us. Just not good. Not good. Look, the new City Connect unis, I'm excited for those. I'm excited for the schedule to drop for next year. Top 2 to 3 catchers to pick up. Justin, I think you got to go JT Realmuto and Adley Rutschman. I think those are the 2 top guys that you'd be most interested in at this point. All right, tomorrow's game, we're flushing this one out. We're moving forward. All you can do right now. By the way, me, I hit my 50th home run tonight. At least I got a couple of positive things going for me. Cal Raleigh, 50 bombs, man. Congrats to him. Great season for the big dumper. Wish the Rangers had a little firepower like that behind the dish. I mean, Higgy is nice, but 50 homer nice, man. Just not quite there. Not quite there. I'd love to see the Rangers upgrade the catcher position, like legitimately upgrade it. Like no shade, but I don't want to see the Rangers go get Hedgie and call that the upgrade. Like I love Hedgie. Rangers need to go out and get a bona fide good, solid, defensive, offensive catcher. Adley Rutschman would be great. I'd love JT Realmuto. Go and upgrade the catcher position. You put this big emphasis on pitching. Go get a guy behind the dish that can match the elite pitching that you have. Been saying it for a while now. Would love to see it happen. Right, Ethan. I mean, basically 7 games. 7 games back. A loss definitely is super hurtful. And it's trending that direction for the Rangers with Seattle up 7-4 on San Diego. By the way, pitching change right now. Let's go to the game for tomorrow. So tomorrow's game, Pat Corbin on the mound, and he is going to be facing Kikuchi. So we will see the lefty lineup tomorrow, which, look, not too bad the last time they were out. So lefty lineup going to be employed for the Rangers. So you will see Zeke Duran. You will probably see Cody Freeman. I'd like to see Josh Smith bench tomorrow. The lefty Josh Smith is just not a great version this year. I'd like to see Josh Smith get a breather against a tough lefty, and Cody Freeman, Zeke Duran back in the ball game, starting. Some of the hottest hitters on the team right now. So we'll see what happens. At this moment, though, let's talk about the matchups. We got Kikuchi against the Rangers. Duran. Shockingly, we know Duran's good against lefties, but shockingly, 0 for 8 against Kikuchi. Freeman has not had an at-bat against the Angels lefty. Garcia, 2 bombs against Kikuchi, 278 average and 18 ABs. Jonah Heim, 385 average, 814 OPS and 13 at-bats. Michael Hellman, 0 for 2. Kyle Higashioka, a 211 average with 19 career ABs against Kikuchi. Josh Young, 2 for 10 lifetime. Wyatt Langford, 4 for 10 lifetime. Osuna, Peterson, no ABs. Corey Seager does have a home run off Kikuchi. I think he hit one earlier this summer, if I'm not mistaken. 267 average career against the Angels, left-handed starter. Josh Smith, actually 2 for 7 in his career. But I think Josh might get a little bit of a breather tomorrow. Tellez is 0 for 2 as well. Pat Corbin on the other side. He has faced about half the Angels. You've got Joe Adell, 3 for 8 with an RBI, 375 average. Moncada, 1 for 2. Neto, 4 for 8 with a bomb. This dude just crushes every single Rangers pitcher. Zach Neto, ladies and gentlemen. Jays. Ohapi, 2 for 4 against Pat Corbin. Peraza, third baseman, 0 for 4. Rengifo, 3 for 10. Mike Trout, 2 for 11. Of all people, Mike Trout to be 2 for 11 against Pat Corbin. Didn't have that on my bingo card. Taylor Ward rakes against Corbin. You've got a 400 average with a bomb. And then, of course, Travis d'Arnaud, 429 average in 21 career ABs. Guys, look, Pat Corbin has been keeping ball games close in majority of his starts. I cannot say I feel super encouraged hearing the numbers, reading the numbers. You've got multiple guys with 400-plus averages. You've got 3 guys with over 400-plus averages. You've got 2 guys that have hit homers off of him. Pat Corbin has not been great of late. However, like Jack Leiter and a number of other Rangers pitchers, is a little bit better at home. You look at the splits, home-away splits, and it is better at Globe Life. At home, Pat Corbin sports a 3.65 ERA. On the road, it's nearly 2 runs worse. He's a 5.43 ERA pitcher on the road, 3.65 at home. So that's got to be the silver lining. Hitters are hitting 290 off of him on the road, 260 at home. 260 still not a great batting average against, but hopefully we get the true home version of Pat Corbin. If he can give you what deGrom gave you tonight, 5 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, I think you got to take it. I have my doubts. I think that Pat Corbin is maybe running into a little bit of a wall. Last 7 games, Pat Corbin has a 6.07 ERA. We got to inject some truth serum here. Y'all know I have been a staunch defender of Patrick Corbin a majority of the season. It's hard for me to defend a 6.07 ERA in your last 7 starts. Hard for me to defend that. Pat Corbin has not made it past the 5th inning in his last 3 starts. And let me take that back just a little bit further. Pat Corbin has not made it 5 innings in his last 4 starts. Pat Corbin has not made it to 6 innings since July 5th. July 5th was the last time that Pat Corbin threw 6 innings in a ball game. So this is going to be a lot of bullpen games, probably a lot of bullpen guys, most likely, if I had to guess. It definitely is going to be an interesting one. The bats are going to have to come to play. I really, really feel like if the Rangers want to win tomorrow, the offense has got to wake up. And maybe that lefty lineup that actually had some success over the weekend on Saturday. Remember, that was the Cody Freeman home run game, and Josh Young had a nice game as well. So that Saturday game against the Guardians lefty, maybe the Rangers can carry over that momentum into Tuesday's game. Momentum and the Rangers really haven't mixed super great this season, but we're going to speak it into existence. What's Corbin ERA at home? About 3.65. On the road, like 5.45. So, look, a much better pitcher at home than he is away from Globe Life. We show you big tomorrow, calling it. Not that it means anything long-term. I sure hope that the Rangers get back on track tomorrow, Justin. I really hope, man. Showing up big tomorrow, I got you. Stupid autocorrect, man. Am I right? All right, y'all. Look, it has been a show. I hope, Gio, that you are correct. This is definitely a day where I am feeling a little bit less hopeful than usual. It's just disappointing watching a goose egg in motion. Look, tomorrow, by the way, very likely we will not be live immediately after the game is over. It will probably be a true late night Right on Rangers. So I just want to throw it out there. Tomorrow, if you're looking for me, I am going to put up a scheduled live so you guys will be able to see what time I'm going, but it will be late. Okay, it will not be right after the game. So if you are usually looking for me, 8th, 9th inning, immediately post game tomorrow, we got a lot going on with work, and we are not going to be able to go live immediately afterwards. That being said, probably something like 10:30 or 11 p.m. Texas time. If you can make it, great. If you can't, I understand. Maybe catch us on the replay, speed it up a little bit. But on Wednesday, we will not be live at all. We are going to do a Thursday off day show instead. Again, Tuesday, Wednesday, the next 2 days, really busy for me with work-related stuff. It's just not going to be able to happen at our usual time. But again, tomorrow, late night, Wednesday, nothing. But we'll be back Thursday. Hopefully that can be a good way to break up the off day for you. We'll do a Thursday night show to kind of recap the Angels series and look ahead to the weekend series in Sacramento. That'll be the plan. And like I said, we'll try and put all of this scheduled online so you guys can see it. I'd encourage you to go follow me on X. Go follow me on Facebook. We'll try and update you guys with times, letting y'all know when exactly we're going to be heading on. So, look, appreciate all the comments today. Thank you for the support. It means a lot. It turns into a little bit of group therapy, honestly, after some of these losses. I appreciate that there's diehards like myself that are willing to talk about this club even after the rough nights. So, again, you guys are the real ones. Thank you for all the support. We don't take it for granted at all, and we appreciate all of you very much. Hope you guys have a good rest of the Monday night. Probably will try and drop a video at some point tomorrow during the day. Not sure what the content is going to be. I'm going to have to find some angles over the next 12 to 15 hours, something like that, before I got to drop this post. I've got a few ideas cooking right now. We'll see what I come up with. But in the meantime, after the live's over, if you haven't checked out my Merrill Kelly video, if you haven't checked out the video I put out on Josh Smith, please go check those out. Give it a like, give it a comment, share it with somebody you know is a diehard Rangers fan. I would be very, very grateful for that. Appreciate all you guys. Have a good night. And as I always say to end every show, God bless and go Rangers.